Once, a long time ago, in a land called Titiboo, lived Koko, the Lord High Executioner to the Mikado. Koko's duty was to go about the country cutting off people's heads, so of course he wasn't very popular. He could be seen every day strutting through the streets of Titiboo, sneering and looking very fierce and singing this little song. As someday it may happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list, I've got a little list. I know a lot of people who might well be underground and who never would be missed, who never would be missed. They're the silly little nuisances who beg for autographs, or people who have dirty hands and irritating laughs, or children who are up in dates and flowery with them flat, and the kids who chew on bubblegum and pop it just like that. I've got them on my list, I've got them on my list, and they'll none of them be missed, they'll none of them be missed. Ha! Now, one day while Koko was strutting through the streets of Titiboo, swinging his giant headsman's sword and looking particularly bloodthirsty, a messenger from the Mikado arrived. Oh, here it is at last. I knew it would come sooner or later. The Emperor's noticed that no executions have ever taken place in Titiboo, and decrees that unless somebody is beheaded immediately, the post of Lord High Executioner shall be abolished. Yes, there's no help for it. I shall have to execute somebody at once. Now, the truth of the matter was that Koko, in spite of his leers and his frowns and his terrible headsman's sword, was really the kindest man alive, with a heart as big as a watermelon. Why, I can't kill anyone. I've never been able to kill anything, not even a blue-bottle fly. I simply don't know how. And Koko sat down under a little lime tree and began to cry his heart out. Now, just at this moment, along came the wandering minstrel of Titiboo. Why, what is it, Koko? Can't you find anybody's head to chop off? That's just the trouble. I've got to behead someone before the Mikado comes to town, and I just haven't the heart to kill anybody. Well, just as soon as said as done. Just tell the Mikado you've chopped somebody's head off. After all, when you say a thing's done, it's practically as good as having done it. But that's telling a fib. And besides, whose head shall I say I've chopped off? Well, mine, if you like. And so, just as the Emperor and his royal party entered the town, Koko scribbled "The Wandering Minstrel" on the certificate of execution. "Excuse me," said the wandering minstrel, "I must be off. After all, if you've chopped off my head, it wouldn't do to have the Mikado see me walking about. From every kind of man obedience I expect, and the Emperor of this land,
and I'm his daughter-in-law elect. He'll marry his son.
I've only got one.
To his daughter-in-law elect. Oh, oh, to his daughter-in-law elect. Oh, oh, to his daughter-in-law elect.
My object all sublime I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime,
Punishment fit the crime,
and make each prisoner pent, and willingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment. Welcome, Your Majesty, Koko cried, throwing himself at the Mikado's feet. Your wishes have been attended to. The execution has taken place. Here's the certificate. Oh, you've had an execution, have you? I wish I'd been in time for the performance, but we came on a totally different matter. A year ago, my son, the heir to the throne of Titiboo, ran away from the imperial court.
He was to have married me.
Quite true. And now we learn that he's here, disguised as a wandering minstrel.
Quite true.
And Koko, looking at Katisha, could see why the prince could very well have fled the palace, for she was a very large and exceedingly ugly lady.
Ah! Your Majesty, look here on the certificate of execution. This is to certify that on this day the wandering minstrel has duly been beheaded. He's slain the prince, beheaded my lover. Oh, where shall I find another?
Dear, this is most awkward. My poor fellow, in your anxiety to carry out my wishes, you have beheaded the heir to the throne of Titiboo. Oh, cried Koko, pity on your poor executioner. Mercy, how could I have known he was the prince? Come, dear fellow, of course you couldn't have known. It really distresses me to see you take on so. But I forget the punishment for chopping off the head of the heir of the throne. Something lingering, with boiling oil in it, I fancy. Something of that sort. I'm not a bit angry, but we must follow the law, mustn't we?
Oh, where shall I find another? He has slain my love.
Suddenly, poor Coco had an idea. Throwing himself at Catishaw's feet, he cried, "Here, here, Catishaw, marry me! I dare not hope for your love, but I will not live without it." "Well, Catishaw, what do you say?"
I suppose he's better than no husband at all.
"Well, then we shall forget about the boiling oil. I fancy marrying Catishaw will be punishment enough." And behind a nearby tree where he was hiding, the wandering minstrel chuckled to himself and then went merrily whistling on his way, free of Catishaw, free of the troubles of being a prince, to live happily ever after as a wandering minstrel. And for his part, Coco was very glad to marry Catishaw, for although she was a very large and exceedingly ugly lady, she did in time make him a good wife, and Coco never again had to go about the streets of Titipu threatening to chop off people's heads, for you see, he really had a very kind heart. Away we'll go, sing derry down derry, it's evident very we'll live as one. Away we'll go, and merrily, merrily, happily, very till life is done. Sing derry down derry, we'll merrily, merrily, happily, very